Ready for Revolution. Welcome, welcome, Brother Eric Torrey Muhammad here. I'm going to do all that I can to give you all that I have in the time that I have. But I did promise a stream earlier this morning when I was running to catch my flight into the wonderful world of Tampa, Florida, which I did arrive safely. Thank you all very much. And I'm looking to share with you what I committed to. And this discussion is known as the promise. Ready for Revolution. Welcome, welcome, Brother Eric Torrey Muhammad here. It's known as the promise. Okay. And so we're going to share some things with you here that I hope will find a place in your mind, on your heart. And it comes from a space from which I originated. I want you to understand that I consider myself a spiritually centered human being with the capacity to be better and to grow, with the ability to achieve higher realms of understanding the mind of God, of the Creator. So, hey, peace and power, Brother Jihad Billups. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Thomas Adams. Good to see you. Albert Watkins in the house. Brother Charles, wa alaikum salam. Happy Savior's Day to all those I didn't get a chance to greet. But a lot of what you're going to hear today is born out of that Savior's Day experience. Brother Ken and Sister Deb Nixon, good to see you. All right, so let me share with you a little bit about the promise. Our subject matter is the promise. Luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. Luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. And this comes from my experience as a follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, rooted in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and understanding the declarations that all faith traditions declare that God has made a promise. So what is a promise? A promise, as you see on your screen there, a promise is a commitment by someone to do or not do something. As a noun, promise means a declaration assuring that one will or will not do something. As a verb, it means to commit oneself by a promise to do or give. It can also mean a capacity for good, similar to a value that is to be realized in the near future. Okay. So what base do I use in this closing moments or closing days of Black History Month? What is the base? What's the precipice by which I seek to share this message? Well, let's start with the promise that Allah God gave in the scriptures. Let's go to Genesis. He's talking to Abraham and he says, "Know for a surety, Abraham, that your seed shall be planted in a land that is not theirs. And that seed will be afflicted. And that seed will serve that land for a period of 400 years. But after that time, God talking to Abraham, I will come and judge that nation by which they serve." Okay, let's stop right there. A promise is a commitment by someone to do something. So God makes a promise to Abraham, not to just Abraham, but to the seed of Abraham or the generations that are gleaned from Abraham over a period of 400 years. There will be, your seed, Abraham, will be in a land that is not theirs. And they'll be the subject of that land. They'll be enslaved in that land. They'll be captured in that land. And they will serve that land for a period of at least 400 years. But after that time, God himself would come. You see? And he will remove us or save us from that nation by which we serve. Okay, so that's the promise. So let's just start there. We know for a surety that we were planted in the hills of North America as a great African mighty nation. As a Black people, we were taken from a space, brought into another one, and our seed was planted in a land that was not ours. And we served inside of America. We built the country 400 years and more. Now we're 500 years. Okay? We built this country. And we served, and we toiled, and we slaved, and we've died, and we've suffered much affliction. We suffered much injustice. We suffered much atrocity. Why? Because we were taken out of a systematic way of living and brought into another system. And that system by which we were brought into is one of poverty that was antithetical. It wasn't even a part of our makeup. We came from great empires. We were born from the loins and the wombs of kings and queens. We walked and declared as gods, and we moved with a certain level of assurity. But then we got tricked by a traitor. And that traitor came with an interpretation that spoke to the fact that we could receive money and more gold, more than we were earning in our own country. And so the very first April Fool's Days in the congressional records of Washington, D.C., April 1st, 1555, that was when the first slave ship touched the shores of North America. And that ship was named Jesus. This is Black History Month, so I'm just giving you a little context here, because I want you to be clear on where we're going. So we were brought here to the hells of North America, and we were made to serve a people. We were made to worship their God. We were made to worship their way. We were made to worship their religion. We were made to worship their way of life and their medium by which they did commerce and exchange. Not knowing that the true commodity was the human commodity, not understanding that the true resource was the once prominent people now made slaves in this society, and we were also the residual income. We were the residual income for the slave masters, their children, and their society. I will tell you anytime that I can that poverty is like punishment for a crime you did not commit. So you're born into a system that only speaks to the need to satisfy an impoverished system. We operate out of debt. We're born indebted to the conqueror, the one who conquered us. Okay? But there's a science where you can recognize the times. There's a science where you can pull things together and understand that God has truly come, and he has truly given people a means by which they can make a way for themselves. Many of us, as followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we believe, in fact, that God has come, and God has come to make the bottom rail the top. And let's look a little bit further into that promise. We have a lesson, and we have a series of lessons that were given to us by Master Fard Muhammad, whom we celebrated his birth, February 26, 1877, born out of the holy city Mecca, but he came to North America by himself. And he taught a young man named Elijah Poole, who later went on to be known as Kareem, and later to be known as Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, soon to be known as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam. But he gave us this mathematical parable. In Problem Book 13, it reads, after learning mathematics, which is Islam, and Islam is mathematics, it stands true. You can always prove it, all right? You can always prove it at no limit of time. Then you must learn to use it and secure some benefit while you are living. That is luxury, money, good homes, friendship in all walks of life. Sit yourself in heaven at once, the lesson says. This is the greatest desire of your brother and teachers. You can always prove it at no limit of time. Then you must learn to use it, meaning your Islam, your mathematics, your culture, your theology, and secure some benefit while you are living, while you live, not waiting for the great pie in the sky and the sweet by and by after you die. No, we're taught by our teachers to look for something sound on the ground while we're still around. And what are we looking for? We're looking for luxury, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. He says, sit yourself in heaven at once. That means that the heaven that you seek is here on earth. This is the greatest desire for your brothers, for your brother rather, and teachers. Now, I want us to look at some basic terminology here. When we look at luxury, most of us have not been afforded the opportunity to know luxury as it is. Why? Because we're born in a system of poverty. Why? Because we're born to fuel the poverty by moving debt. I've said it over to us. If you have a Federal Reserve note or fiat currency, you look at your US dollar, it says Federal Reserve note. And they teach us to worship this note. On the back of it, it says, "In God we trust." And on the front, they show you the God. It's the note, it's the debt. Okay? If you have a house that you have not fully paid for, you have a house note. If you have a car that you have not fully paid for, you have a car note. If you have a student loan or some kind of loan gleaned from the banksters, that's gangsters with a B, then you find yourself with a promissory note. Okay? You'll find yourself with these systems in place to keep moving debt. Social Security numbers tracks you moving debt. The serial numbers in your dollar bills tracks the motion of the debt. All right. So you have these things that are in place to continuously move us in a realm of debt. But this is how they really do it. They didn't teach us the true meaning of money. They didn't teach it. Money, defined by Webster's, Merriam-Webster, money, something generally accepted as a medium of exchange, a measure of value, or a means of payment, such as, and they give some examples, officially coined or stamped metal currency, money of account, or paper money. Okay, so whatever that society gives credit towards as a medium of exchange, it has the value of the nation that backs it. Well, what is the value system of America? America lies, America cheats, America steals. What is the value system of America? America hoards. America doesn't mind its business or her business. What are the value systems of America? You see? And do those value systems give any leverage to the note that we call money? Now, it used to when it was backed by something known as gold. Gold is an asset. An asset is a value of, instrument of value that appreciates over time. Precious metals, precious gems, fine art, those are considered in this world assets because they have the ability to appreciate. But wait a minute. If a precious gem is damaged, the value of it is lost. If an artwork is damaged, the value of it is lost. But wait, if you have the precious metal of gold or silver, it's a pure asset. It's considered God's money and it appreciates over time. So when you have money, it's a medium of exchange. Yes, it's an accepted medium of exchange in societies, but that money needs to be backed by an asset. Without an asset, that money then becomes volatile. It waffles in its purchasing power. We just left a wonderful celebration, Savior's Day 2020, in the great city of Detroit, Michigan, where it all began for the great nation of Islam. Okay, and we give what is known as a Savior's Day gift in appreciation of the efforts of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we as believers offer a paltry sum, $1,000 or so. And we think we're doing well, but if we to meet that mark, and we are, because we're coming from the heart, with as much as a dime or as little as a penny. However, if you want the $1,000 to have the purchasing power of $1,000, you need to add $800 or $900 more in order for the 1,000 to have the power of 1,000. Because worldwide, you're dealing with a dollar bill that's worth roughly 4 cents. Okay, so that's paper. Without an asset backing it, it will always be devalued because it does not have the ability to store value. But if you have gold, if you have the precious metal that can't be destroyed, it could change form or shape and be worth more in different forms and shapes, but it cannot be destroyed. It's just as indestructible as the God that created you and I, or it. And we have it. All right. This is still history now. So because we did not know money for what true money is, we were divorced from luxury. So when we go out here, we don't strive for luxury, we strive for money. But not knowing what money is, we're always at a loss. But luxury is a condition of abundance or great ease and comfort. Just think about that. A condition of abundance, that's luxury. Well, who earns the right to the condition? What are the qualifications? Well, you have to have the birthright of abundance. On California radio platform, we have a program called the Birthright of Abundance, or Abundance is Your Birthright, with Sister Hafisa Toure and Sister Keturah Bryant. You see, we have a birthright of abundance. We are born as children of abundance, but we live in a society of lack, want, and poverty. That was by design, and as a result, the conditions have now flipped. The conditions of abundance goes to the slave master because we're the original, we're the residual for the slave master by tracking and circulating and staying in the motion of debt. However, when you come into yourself and when you understand your true history and your origins, then God opens up the vehicle by which you can really maintain your lifestyle. You can maintain a condition of abundance. There's more air in the world than you are able to breathe. There's more water in the sea that you're able to swim or drink. There's more land than you're able to build on, and there's more people than you can give individually birth to. We live in abundance, but we suffer out of lack, want, and poverty due to circumstance, because we were taught that our seed will be a stranger in a land that was not ours. And we will be planted there, we were subjected there for a period of 400 years. But after that time, God promised to come himself. And so we have to be able mathematically to recognize the signs. 1555, April 1st, 1555, the first April Fool's Day. Okay, they document 1619, but the truth be told, 1555. 400 years from 1555, 1955. Significant to us because in 1955, that's when the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was introduced to the man we stand with today, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Great significance. 400 years have passed, and now we're moving and toiling in the hells of North America, calling out the ills of America, calling out the ills of the slave master and their children, and calling for an operational and functional unity by which we can coexist peacefully. But if that does not take place, then we also call for a day of separation. Because once it's proven you can no longer coexist peacefully or don't have the ability to do that, then you need another measure of tactic or another measure of agreement in order to achieve the life that everyone can live peacefully, because Islam is peace. All right. The condition of abundance or great ease, that is luxury. That's a lifestyle family. Now, we talk about good homes and friendships in all walks of life. Let's look at friendships. Okay. Friendship for most people, I have it defined here. Friendship for most people, you know, they carry certain traits, right? They carry traits of respect and trust and loyalty. General traits of a friendship includes similar interests, mutual respect, and an attachment to each other of true friends. According to Aristotle, there are three types of friendships: those based on utility, those based on pleasure or delight, and those grounded in virtue. In the first type, friendship based on utility, that it means in one sense, people associated for their mutual usefulness. And that relationship is the most common of the relationships. But I want to introduce to you another utility in the world of wealth building. We have gold. We don't have certificates. We don't have a thought or an idea. We don't have a coin mixed with certain alloys. We're telling you that we have gold, that special place on the periodic chart of elements that element 79, we have gold. We have that grade of gold that's LBMA certified. It's the purest grade of gold in the world, 24 carats, 999.9. It's the grade that nations use to settle debt. We have it. We are making available in the world of Karatbars small incremental gold. We're the largest distributors of incremental gold in the world, and we are the #1 client of FedEx. Anywhere in the world that physical gold is available to be delivered, FedEx drops it to your door. We have a privately partnered relationship with MasterCard, the world's largest vector of credibility for individuals, corporations, and businesses. And we have a direct partnership with our prepaid MasterCard. Okay. We have an ecosystem family. Now, Aristotle, if we look at his utility definition of friendship, in the first type, friendship based on utility are people associated with their mutual usefulness. In our community of Karatbars, we have an ecosystem. That ecosystem allows you to circulate your own money, gold is money, within that community of 900,000 affiliates. Now, there are 8 billion people in the world. There are 900,000 of us in this opportunity. We're less than 1% of all of the population that knows that gold is money. But we are a powerful part, and you can be too. That's why we're in Tampa this weekend, to share more of that great opportunity. All right. So you have a community that has its own gold mines. We have our own technology through the use of our own blockchain. We have our own cryptocurrency, the KBC coin, that is linked to gold as our utility coin. Man, it keeps friendship within the community. We have Carat Globe, which is our directory of those products, goods, and services offered by professionals within our 900,000 plus affiliate community. And we exchange with each other based off of the gold linked coin through our K merchant system. We have so much going for us within our system. We have a completely unhackable phone. In fact, we just released a dare, a challenge. Anyone that can, according to the World of Karatbars International, anyone that can hack issued K1 Impulse phone that's available to you right now, Karatbars will give you $1 million. If you can hack this phone, you will receive $1 million. That's the Great Hack Challenge. We have also an unhackable WIM laptop computer. We also have in our coffers pure physical gold that you can hold and keep as a store of value. We're going to show you some of that gold tomorrow at the Tampa Park Plaza here in Tampa, Florida, tomorrow, Saturday, which is the 29th at 1 p.m. You'll learn more about it through social media. But we have this relationship, this utility. So if I have a home that needs some assistance, I can pay for the needs of my home through my KBC coin. I can allocate it through my K merchant system and get the products, goods, and service offered within my community because it's one of trust. It's a relationship that is most common. It includes similar interests, includes mutual respect, and it includes an attachment to each other, an affinity that keeps us waxing wealthy and rich for generations to come. I hope you understand what we're sharing with you, because this is by far the greatest wealth transfer to ever come. The Dow fell another 1,000 points. So you looked at 3 days ago, it fell 1,000 points, and then 800 points that second day, then another 1,000 points yesterday. I don't know where it is today. It's really immaterial to me. I feel and pray for the health and the restoration of health to entire countries and people who are affected by this coronavirus pandemic. It's serious. However, it's affecting the value, not the cost, the value of gold. And most of us, 900,000 of us, family, stack gold as a store of value. Your paper dollar will always go down. Gold will always maintain its value or higher. Gold is a store of value. If I drop a floating dollar bill today, you won't hear it hit the ground. If I drop a gram of gold today, you best believe you're going to hear it because it's a store of value. It's a medium of exchange. I can take it outside of our community to a bank and get this value. I can take it to a coin exchange, get its value. I can take it to a pawn shop and take a loan against it and have its value. But I can also just stay within my community, keep my gold, and allow our utility coin to do the rest. Man, we have a community and you need to get with it. So the promise, God promised that he would bring us several things. One, he will restore us to that great nation that we once were. He promised us that we would receive life and life more abundantly. Well, in order to have life, you have to live. In order to live, you can't merely exist. So you have to be turned on here. You have to be turned on here to know who you are, whose you are, and move in the nature by which you were created. And when that happens, you are then granted the road map to the abundance that's within your birthright. And we have a vehicle by which you all can be realized. All the hope that your forefathers prayed for, all the desires that your leaders had in front of you, all the organizations that wanted to do more but couldn't do more because we were trapped in poverty and dependent on a job or a dollar. Now you have the opportunity to work out God's purpose in your life with his money. Peace and power. I'll see all of us on the next live stream. Tampa, get ready. We're going to be lit. Kareem Monati, and